Ladies and gentlemen, I became a billionaire overnight, and so can you. Let me explain. Now, before you get way too excited and find out how I was able to become a billionaire overnight and how you can become a billionaire overnight, ladies and gentlemen, I'm doing a $1,000 giveaway that I've been doing since the beginning of the year. And every month, I pick one of my subscribers and I give you $1,000 from this $10,000 cash that I've cashed out at the beginning of the year. And I give it to one of my subscribers. All you have to do is like this video, comment something in this video, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. And that at the end of the month, I'm gonna pick one of my subscribers that have commented in this video, and I'll give you $1,000 from the stack. So now, let's go ahead and talk about how I became a billionaire and how you can also become a billionaire. And the answer to that, my friends, is inflation. Now you see the US dollar in some countries is worth a lot of money, in other countries it's not worth that much. For example, the US dollar in Europe is worth around, let's say 90 cents in euros. The US dollar in Great Britain is worth around 80 cents in GBP. But then in countries where inflation is very, very high, like for example, the country of Venezuela, where inflation is around 1,200%. One USD is worth 2.6 million of their currency. I don't know how to even, I myself did not know how to even digest that thought. So in today's video, we're going to travel to 3 countries where inflation is very, very high: Venezuela, Indonesia, and Lebanon. And then we're going to find out how much you need in USD to technically be considered a billionaire in that country. And then we're going to see how far our new $1 billion net worth is going to carry us in those countries. So with our $1 billion net worth in Venezuela, how far can I go? How long can I last and survive? And same thing with Lebanon, same thing with Indonesia. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, since we're now billionaires, let's go ahead and hop onto our jets and travel to the country of Venezuela. All right, ladies and gents, since we've hopped on our jets and we've arrived to the beautiful country of Venezuela, the city of Caracas, Venezuela, let's go ahead and see what it takes for us to be a billionaire, how far $1 billion can take us. And to do that, I'm gonna go to my favorite website called Numbeo or Numeo. I don't know how to say that. And in that website, we're gonna find out what it costs to be able to live in that country as far as food costs, transportation costs, living expenses, etc., etc. The 3 things I wanna find out is, number 1, how much do I need to be able to eat that day? Number 2, how much do I need to have a place to stay? And then number 3, what transportation costs going to be like, because I need to travel around the country. These are the 3 most important things that I see a tourist doing in that country. And I'm not going to live below the means. I'm going to live pretty nice because I'm a tourist. I want to be able to enjoy that country. So I'm not going to be cheap with my $1 billion budget. At the end of the day, guys, we are billionaires. So we need to flex our funds and spend it as best as we can. So with our $1 billion net worth, I would need around 55 USD for 2 people. But since I'm alone, right, half of that, around $25 to have a nice 3-course meal in Caracas, Venezuela. So let's just say around $20 for one person to have a nice 3-course meal, and then we'll have 2 smaller meals, which in this website it says that that's going to be around $10. So in total, let's say we need $40 to be able to eat well in one day. For transportation, let's just go ahead and say that we're going to take a taxi. Each mile for the taxi is going to cost us around $2.41. And just to be a little bit liberal, let's say we're going to travel around 15 miles a day within the city. We need a taxi to do that for us. That's going to be around $30 a day for transportation costs for a taxi. And then for us to be able to find a place, I'm going to go Airbnb.com. Let's go ahead and find out what a stay in Venezuela is like and how much it costs. Let's do Caracas, District of Venezuela. Let's do the dates July 1 to July 8. So it looks like we're getting a lot of apartments, which in a city that's pretty understandable. And each apartment is around $50 to $60. So, but then you get nice apartments like these. So this Airbnb does not look too bad. We have multiple rooms, we have a full kitchen, we have all of the amenities that we need. It looks pretty modern. Looks like it is within the city. So a nice modern Airbnb within the city is going to run us around $50 a night. So currently with Venezuela's high inflation rate, $1 equals 2.6 Venezuelan bolivars, which means technically for you and I to be considered billionaires in Venezuela, we need around $375, which is not too much. And looking at all the details, it costs us around $40 a day to eat very, very well in Venezuela. It costs us around $30 a day to travel within the city, and it costs around $50 a day to have a very nice Airbnb within the city. So all in total, to live pretty well as a tourist in Venezuela, we need around $120 a day, which with our $1 billion net worth, that is half of our net worth. So technically, $1 billion in Venezuelan bolivar would last you and I to live pretty well within the city around 2.5 days. All right, I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty tired of living in the city, so I'm gonna leave Venezuela and I need something nice. I need something new. I want to go to a beach. Let's go ahead and hop back into our jets and fly over to Bali, Indonesia, where the inflation rate is actually not too bad, not as bad as Venezuela. So $1 equals $15,000 in Indonesian currency, which is the Indonesian rupiahs. So for me to technically be considered a billionaire, I need around $66,000. Now that's a substantially higher amount than the $375 that we need in Venezuela, but again, it's doable. So I would take that trade any day. 66K for $1 billion of that currency, I would take any day. So let's go ahead and see how long that $1 billion in Indonesia can last us. And for that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go to my favorite website again, Numia.com. And we're in Bali, Indonesia, where a 3-course meal for 2 people is gonna run us around $22. But since I'm going to be alone, let's just say that's gonna cost us around $10 for a 3-course meal and around $2 for smaller meals. But so it's already a lot cheaper, but then again, I'm a billionaire. I want to live like a king. I want to eat like a king, so we'll budget for $20 a day for food. As far as transportation, 1 mile in taxi is gonna be around $1, so 15 miles is gonna be obviously $15 every single day for a taxi. And then for a place to stay, let's go again to our favorite website, airbnb.com, and we will go to Bali. And it's a given, it's a known fact. If I'm in Bali, Bali is known for its villas. We are going to stay in a villa, and I'm going to actually be very, very nice to myself and treat myself to a nice villa. So I'll budget for quite a nice villa in Bali, Indonesia. I was able to find this Balian beachfront luxury tiny house. It has hot tubs, it's got a pool, it's right next to the beach. It's actually very, very sick spots. Sort of like a cabin in the woods, but on the beach. Pretty sick combo. I would not mind staying here at all. So ladies and gentlemen, the inflation rate in Indonesia is not too high. So $1 in Indonesia is around 15,000 Indonesian rupiahs, which for me to technically be considered a billionaire in Bali, Indonesia, I need around $66,000. And running the numbers, I need around $20 a day to eat very, very well. I need around $15 a day to travel within Indonesia, and I need around $150 a day. So to eat like a king, live like a king, and travel like a king in Indonesia, I need around $185 per day. My $1 billion budget is gonna last me a whole year in Indonesia. I would not mind living like a king in a very nice villa. I don't know about you guys. Let's go ahead and travel over to Lebanon. Our ladies and gents, we're in Beirut, Lebanon, where the inflation rate is very similar to what it was in Indonesia, where $1 equals 15,000 Lebanese pounds. But the living costs are a little more expensive than they were in Indonesia. So we're gonna go to our trusted website, Numia.com. We are in Beirut, where to eat a 3-course meal for 2 people is around $53. For one person, let's just say it's $25. We're gonna set that budget. And 2 smaller meals, each meal being $10 a day. So our budget is around $50. Let's just say $55, be a little bit more liberal per day to eat very, very well in Lebanon. And then for our travel expenses, we are going to also get a taxi. And looks like 1 mile of travel is around $2 per mile, which means that for a 15-mile travel budget, we need around $30 a day to be able to travel very well in the city. And let's go ahead and take a look at what kind of spots we can get in Beirut, Lebanon. So go to Airbnb, we'll choose the same dates, July 1st to July 8th. Looks like we got some very, very nice apartments. And I'm gonna go ahead and say, I'm gonna pick this one because I don't know, I see a TV. I like having a TV right next to the bed so I can watch some Netflix and most likely fall asleep to it. So this apartment looks very modern, looks very luxurious. It's in the heart of the city, and this is going to run us around $50 a day. So let's add that to our budget, $50 a day to live in a very nice apartment. So ladies and gentlemen, the inflation rate in Lebanon is very similar to Bali, Indonesia, where 1 USD equals 15,000 Lebanese pounds. So for me to technically be considered a billionaire in Lebanon, I need around $66,000 once more. And running the numbers, I need around $55 a day to eat very, very well. I need around $30 a day to travel well within Beirut, Lebanon, and I need around $50 a day to stay in a very nice apartment in the heart of Beirut. So that means that from our $1 billion budget, I need around $135 every single day to live like a king in Beirut, Lebanon, which again, as a billionaire in Lebanon, is gonna last me around a year and a half, very similar to what it was like in Bali, Indonesia. With that being said, ladies and gents, do not forget the giveaway. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. Where would you like to travel to as a billionaire? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.